And finally, this week in London, Nigerian women in business came together for one of the most powerful gatherings of the year. WIMBIZ, Women in Management, Business and Public Service, held its 4th London conference this week at 1 Great George Street in Westminster under the theme Meaningful Legacy, Power, Positioning and Influence in a Changing World. The conversation could not be more timely. The FTSE Women Leaders Review 2026 shows women now occupy 43% of FTSE 350 board positions in the UK, yet only 8% of those companies have female CEOs. Nigerian and African women are building businesses, leading institutions and driving economic growth on a global stage, while still navigating structures that were not built with them in mind. WIMBIZ has impacted over 344,000 women across more than 2 decades. Its London conference this week brought together leaders from the UK, Europe and Africa to ask the question that matters most. What does meaningful legacy actually look like and who gets to build it?
WIMBIZ is giving you is what you probably don't have in your small circle. We're bringing from different parts of the world and helping you to fine-tune to the environment that you're in. It's very important at this time. In a society where you viewed one gender as the protector, provider, the anchor of wealth generation has really hung on that person. But what WIMBIZ is saying is that it's hanging on the woman as well, because we're wearing those hats as well as many other hats. And our children need to, enjoy. They talk about the rate of mortality amongst men and women and what happens when the man goes and what happens to the women. Those things are mitigated already when the woman is in a place where she is the one holding and anchoring that wealth management system. So this is a very, very huge deal for us in this time where women are awakening to, like you said, roles. It's 8% now, but it's growing. It was less before. And so what legacy are you leaving? Is it going to be 8% after you leave again? No, it has to go generational. And that's really what it is. So
it's so important that women really, get the hang of leadership. We're doing it every day. And, but we need the tools and resources to really hone in the skills, especially running our own businesses in organizational settings, etc. In terms of the delegates in the UK, what should they expect? Well, the theme this year, as has mentioned, we're talking about legacy. And one way to think of legacy is, what are the footprints that we're leaving that we want to cement for generations to come? And different from what concepts have gone before, where it's at the end of one's career, you start thinking of legacy. No, it's what are the intentional steps that we should be thinking about as leaders right now, today, this minute, that we can put in place in building our organizations, building our communities, our families, to ensure that the values, the characteristics, the attributes that we're instilling in ourselves and those around us are there and will make an impact both now and beyond. So those are some of the things. When I think of my business school a few years ago, we were celebrated because in that particular set at Yale, we had a class that had about 40% women, and that was an MBA class, and it was so celebrated. So, imagine how much progress that could make if every board had at least that, and beyond. So there's still work to be done, but in doing that work, we still need to think consciously about the legacy, which is how well are we doing that work to make an impact both now, but for generations to come.